I remember I was going through the leads and I asked him where a lead came from, or he was telling me about a sale or a job he was doing. And I asked where the lead came from, and he said, "Oh, they said they found us through ChatGPT." He said, "So whatever you're doing there, I know you've been telling me about it. That's working. That's great." So I was stoked. That was the first lead that came in through ChatGPT that I got told about, and it was without shadow of a doubt that's where it came from, because he had a long conversation with the homeowner about their shopping experience and why he decided to go with them. Welcome to the Outworkem podcast. I'm here with my wife. I'm absolutely stoked to be filming a podcast episode with her today. Our first episode that we ever filmed was called From Awkward to Awesome, and I'm going to title this episode From Awesome to Elite. So, wow. The Outworkem podcast, season 2, launching From Awesome to Elite. Here we go.
Technically, this is season 2, episode 2, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
And on this next season, we're really excited to bring you guys more value with our guests. We had some phenomenal guests last season, and we benefited from having those guests on, and our guests have also benefited. So I would like to just talk a little bit about the intention of this podcast and what we actually do for our guests when we have them on during this time.
Yeah, I got a story.
Tell us a story.
So, about a year ago, maybe a little more, a little less, I'm driving, and it's early in the morning. I was coming home from the gym, and I see this plumbing truck getting washed at like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like, wow, that's someone who's taking pride in their work. I want to go say what's up, and see how they're doing, see if there's the ability for us to be allies. So I pull over, go over to the car wash, and say what's up, and give him a compliment on his truck. Here, turns out it's a guy I know from growing up. He knows my family. I know his family a little bit, and we end up filming a podcast. And then he calls me maybe a month after the podcast launch. He said, "Hey, bro, that podcast we filmed, I was just at a lady's house, and she told me that's how she ended up hiring me. She got to listen to the podcast episode, and she liked my story, and he said he just wanted to give me a call to let me know that it was cool that we did that." So he was able to help someone in the community as a result of us filming a podcast together. And I know you have a story of your own as well about how you got to meet someone really cool after you, a listener from the, who was it? The Mold Dog podcast.
The Mold Dog podcast. So I had a guest on that has a mold dog and remediation service out of Arizona. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Haas Homes, Arizona Mold Dog. And so I was really excited to have this guest on, particularly because if you've listened to some of our stuff in the past, I got sick from living in a moldy house. So I really do not play around remediation and that whole industry. I know the light and the shadow of it. So we really love working with people who are doing good work in the remediation industry and in the healthy home industry in general. So we had this podcast guest on. It was even more awesome because I got to meet the dog on the podcast, which was amazing. And one of the people that he works with actually locally, her name is Christy, Healthy Home Christy. Shout out to Healthy Home Christy. She hit us up because she saw us on the podcast and wanted to explore working together. And we actually did end up bringing her on as a client, and we've been doing work together ever since. And it's been so awesome because one of my biggest passions for working with people in the home services is I see the value of what they're bringing to the world, because they're literally building our future and they are working on people's homes, which is so important to health. If you guys know Ryan and I, like, we're so nerded out about health and wellness. We really are committed to taking care of ourselves and taking care of people around us and doing healthy things together. Mm-hmm. And that's not separate from your home. Like, your home is so important to the health of your physical body. And so I look at the contractors that we work with as stewards of something really important, because their work and their efforts are contributing to the health of their customers. And so when I meet people and work with people who are knowledgeable of that, and that they know that they are stewarding that responsibility, it really lights me up. So this woman, Healthy Home Christie, she helps people who've dealt with environmental illness find healthy homes. So she specializes in that, and she works with a lot of different contractors, from remediation to diagnostics to electric to roofing to insulation. And so she's a really great ally to have in our
If you're
business.
looking for a healthy home, we can help you get in touch with her,
Yep.
healthyhomechristie.com. Love referring people to our clients.
Yes.
And another thing we have here on the notes, if you, after hearing those stories, if you would like to be on the Outwork, I gave her this clipboard. She was like, I want a clipboard for today. And I was like, I got you. Anyways, text us if you'd like to be on the podcast, if you'd like to connect, 833-695-1214. Just text us, 833-695-1214. That phone number is set up for us to see. We'll both have access to it. So if you want to address one of us specifically, just let us know. And I also want to give a quick PSA here that there's been a lot of evolutions in the Outworkem digital workspace. So our podcast is the Outworkem podcast. Our marketing agency, our website where you can learn more about us, outworkemdigital.com. We worked with a business partner for the past year and a half. We've been working without him for about 6 months now. He moved on to work in the PR space, and he's an ally to us now in the PR space. He is growing his family, which I want to give a huge congratulations to. And it was just better for him to align with a company that could give him a job. He didn't have an interest in being a business owner anymore. And now we're able to support each other as friends, as brothers, as business allies, and no longer business partners. So just a little update there. If you've seen some of the episodes in the past, he's been featured on some of them. I've had people call and ask about him. So just wanted to give a little update there to our listeners. Any color commentary from you, Beb, on that?
No, it's been a really positive and graceful separation, and I do feel like we're all allies still, and it's been really aligned for both of our households. So I feel like it's been a great thing, and we're really grateful for all the work that he did in Outworkem Digital before he left, and wish him the best. And we'll definitely be hitting him up for some PR in the future, and hopefully we'll have some of our clients go over there as well for some PR. And that's a story for another time, because man, that what a story that is on how all that played out. But we've also, another update is we've brought on some new team members onto the Outworkem Digital team, and that's been really great. And we've learned so much about. Go ahead.
I just wanted to rewind real quick. So the Jana and I have been working in digital marketing since 2015. And whenever we first started working in the digital marketing space, we were living in Bali. And we started to grow our interest in all things digital marketing. It started off in the e-commerce space. So we've been working online together in this capacity. I just wanted to rewind because I mentioned the last year and a half. And so we took on a partner for about a year and a half, tried to make it work to provide an opportunity to another family through business ownership. And I understand it's not for everyone. Are other business owners out there? You probably maybe tried to make it work out with a partnership or two in the past. I always hear these stories. So I just kind of wanted to give a little context about how we were working together. prior to this, and then how the transition to working with someone really did help us grow our business. But ultimately, it ended up being a better idea for us to get back into business ownership as a couple without any other partners and just bringing on team members. So the team members we are bringing on now are um, people who are not owners in the business. We're building our team. We want to have specialists in all of the verticals of our business. So we have a full-time video editor, full-time web designer who's also very talented when it comes to automations and workflows. And if you by chance know someone who's absolutely awesome and you think that maybe they'd like an internship or a part-time job, that's usually how we start off a working relationship with someone. You can also tell them to text us at 833-695-1214, 833-695-1214. If you know anyone who could be a good team member, who wants to grow a career in digital marketing, who wants to be able to work in AI and automation and helping businesses, local service businesses, apply these technologies to prosper.
Yeah, I love that. We're looking for A players. We're looking for people who are aligned with our culture. And as you know, we're called Outworkem Digital. And this is the Outworkem podcast.
How would you describe our culture?
We work hard. We work hard, but we also we work hard in all buckets of life, I would say.
Would you say when you're interviewing or looking for a team member, you're getting into how their personal life is a little bit? Are you
Definitely.
concerned if they're
Definitely.
drinking and
Yeah.
running around town? How much bandwidth do you have for nonsense?
This much bandwidth for nonsense. I run a tight ship here over at Outworkem Digital
Uh-huh.
because we invest so much time into helping our clients and helping each other and helping our family that if I identify someone as a liability, it's an immediate no for me. And I wish them the best. Learn how to not be such a liability. Maybe come back later. But I'm pretty cutthroat when it comes to that.
Yeah. So you can trust that if you refer someone to work with us, not only are we going to be very meticulous and about who we bring on the team from a professional standpoint, from the talent they have, from the skills, from their accountability, but also we want to work with great people.
Mm-hmm.
We want to provide a livelihood for people who want to do more good in the world, who want to be an example of living a good life, good family values, taking care of their loved ones, and taking care of the community.
Definitely. And that is a huge area of growth that I've experienced a lot of learning curves with in the last year of being in a position of leadership and hiring and management. We're a small team, so we both wear a lot of different hats. And I think that that's a great tool. Like if you're a business owner and you're listening to this, you know what it is to be transferring from a solopreneur to an entrepreneur and then into a more leadership position in your business. And you have to be a different person at every single level. And you learn a lot of things that come with that. So that's been a huge area of growth of hiring people and unfortunately firing people over the last year and just, deciding that it's not a fit to work together and having standards and also realizing that people will show you exactly who they are, like pretty upfront. And if you make excuses for people multiple times, it's probably just going to end up wasting your time a little bit in the end.
Yeah.
If you don't integrate the lesson and take the fruits of the lesson and bring it forward and with wisdom.
Yeah. I want to dive into the weeds a little bit. Maybe someone listening to this podcast is listening because you know Jana or you know me and you're looking to just learn more about us, you're curious about what we talk about on our podcast, curious about what we do for work, for business. So we provide value to local service business owners, primarily home service businesses, contractors, a lot of blue collar professions by providing web design, Google Business Profile Management, text message and email marketing, paid ads, search engine optimization. Really, what we focus on is lead generation and conversion optimization for our clients. And all of those are buckets that we can, or levers that we can kind of pull on to bring more leads in, or convert at a higher percentage the leads that are already coming in or we already have. And this podcast is one way that we like to give our clients, or people we feel aligned with out in the community, a platform. So we want to let them tell their story, let them speak about the value they provide, what's unique to them, what's unique to the service they provide, why you should work with them or why you might not want to work with them. And these podcasts are designed specifically to go a little bit beyond just the professional aspect of things, especially in these professions that I mentioned. A lot of times there's someone coming to your home. You're going to actually end up spending some time with them. You're going to be giving them access to your family possibly, or your living space, your workspace. And with that comes a level of trust that I feel like people like to have in today's day and age. And, if you can listen to 20 to 40 minutes of a conversation with someone, you got a lot better of idea of how you feel about giving them a call to say, hey, come to my house and check out my HVAC system, or hey, I have a problem with my plumbing. Those people are gonna be coming into your home, and I like being able to listen to someone express themselves for a little bit before they arrive.
Yeah, definitely. I love that you brought up the different levers that we can pull on. I want to touch on two things that you mentioned. So the first is the different levers that we can pull on. If you know anything about marketing and digital marketing, specifically, it's a very dynamic space. And right now we are in a very exciting era because there is there are so many new tactics entering into the marketplace, and with that there's also a lot of like crap that's entering the marketplace. So being able to sift through and test what's working and what's not, and also to be able to have the knowledge to know which lever to pull for the business needs is very important. So we're not really a one size fits all type of agency. I know that that's probably not the best for scaling, but we really are interested in serving and actually getting results for our people. We're a small business, so our clients' success is directly correlated to our success. And so if we have someone come in and they have one need and another client has a different need, we do customize to that need, and we create a framework. Ryan talks about freedom within framework. So he really likes to educate our clients on the framework and then be able to pivot within that framework and pull the different levers that are appropriate for that time, because certain techniques might not work as well 1 month versus another. It
Yeah.
just changes. The landscape changes.
Yeah. For example, I like to talk about onboarding.
Yeah,
If
I want to touch
someone
on one more thing before we move on to that, because I wanted to touch on the second part of what you had mentioned that was really important, which was people's buying decisions with having trust for their contractors coming into their home. And that is super important, especially for certain buying patterns. I would say that for myself, finding out more personally about my service provider is really important before making a large investment of either time or money.
Yeah.
So that's not everyone, but that is a lot of people. And I would say more women than men, particularly.
So
And
that's just my girly side that wants to get to know them first.
no, I'm saying that it's important for like women who are gonna, make a big investment into their home. They want to know what's this person all about? Are they gonna leave me high and dry? Because that happens sometimes in the contracting world, and we've heard terrible horror stories. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know that not some bad stuff happens out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would played a little joke about, is that the girly side of me that wants to know? Also, for me, it's just I like to I don't know. I kind of refer to this concept of kind of vote with my dollar, right? I want to give my resources to people
Yeah.
and do business with people that I want to see succeed. I want to see more of what they're doing in the world, so I want to invest in that. So for me, that's where it comes from. It doesn't come from a place of so much being concerned. So I see the kind of difference there. But yeah, I just like to spend my money with people who I want to see succeed. And what I was gonna mention before, just about you mentioning customizing some of our programs.
Mm-hmm.
If someone decides that they want to start working with us and it's right in the middle of their busy season, that might be a different type of onboarding program than someone who decides to work with us during their slow season. There's a lot more to risk with turning knobs during the busy season, and we have a little bit more grace whenever we're building infrastructure and implementing things during the slower season. So, every business has their unique circumstance, and also we like to leverage all of the things that we've already built and the things that have got success for our clients in the past with people who onboard now and in the future. So the freedom within framework concept that Jana mentioned, that was shared with me a while back, that with the advances in technology, changes in competition, there's so many moving parts in the business landscape that going out there with a plan that isn't adaptable doesn't feel great to me. And people that I have worked with get better results when we have a plan or a framework that is adaptable to the circumstance that arise, changes in regulation, technology, competition, primarily.
Yeah, thanks for touching on that. I'd like to go into my flop of the year. I guess it's technically not a flop, but it didn't work out as much as I had hoped, and that's the social media education program. And you might not consider it a flop. It's overall, it's 100% been a net positive, but it didn't scale the way that I thought it would in this year. And we are contemplating reframing the offerings a bit in the program.
Yeah. So what she's referring to is we launched a school group. Some of y'all might be seeing these school group, and we wanted to provide a resource to help people who don't want to invest in having it done for them, but they want to do it themselves. They want to understand it. They want to maybe be able to manage people on their team internally to do it. So we launched a school group that was going to be done with you, or more like we are teaching you how to do this on your own, rather than our agency's programs are done for you. So pass it back off to you there.
So it was something that we already had proof of concept with, because we are running this program still currently for some of our agency clients who have signed up for social media within their package. And so we tested it. It was really successful for our clients, and it continues to be really successful for our clients. It's really great for brand awareness and building know, like, trust in the business. And so we launched the school group to teach people how to do this.
What is this? Teach people how to?
Teach people how to run this program for themselves.
So teach people how to use social media to generate leads and book jobs.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
There's a lot about talking on camera. There's a lot about scripting. There's a lot about lighting, mentorship in general, getting past your sticking points. And the deliverables for it were previously, if the group participant filmed their raw footage, they would deliver it to us and we would edit the first however many
6
6
videos.
to 8 videos and then deliver them back. And getting participants to actually film themselves turned out to be really, really difficult, much more difficult than when I'm on the scene with them
I gotta chime in
and
here.
filming them myself. Go ahead.
So basically, it was supposed to look like this, and this is how it would start off. People would sign up for the program, and then we'd have an onboarding call with them. And within the first 2 weeks, we would like to receive these videos that we gave them scripts based on the onboarding call. They have the scripts, they have instructions for how to film them, and all they have to do is put those videos in a file, and then we edit them and give them back to them. We would even post them for them if they really needed us to. The first time we jump on a call, and we wanted to have all that live within the first 30 days. A lot of times, people who would sign up, they would not film the videos within the first month. Sometimes not even within the first 3 months. And then we decided to over deliver. And for example, we had a client sign up when we were living in Maui, Hawaii. They were a realtor from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Videos didn't get filmed. And fast forward 4 months later, we just said, hey, we really want you to get your message out in the world. We think we really want to help more people do business with you. We're going to come to your house and film your videos for you because we want you to win. And that's just not what the program set out to be, but we want to help people, especially people who are motivated and doing their best. So we did that. We got her videos edited. We filmed them for her. And, that's just one example of how it would fall apart. So kind of feel bad that Jana pours her heart into this program and, wasn't able to get as much accomplished with it yet, but
Not
I
as
do
much
see
as
the people that it did help.
Yeah, it did help. It did help some people, and some people are still in the program and they're still gaining benefit. And I've talked to them about the potential pivots and shifts. But this program is really, I'm finding it works best for people who are extremely self-motivated, because if you're not extremely self-motivated, you're just not going to do it. The other lever for inspiration to hit for people to actually follow through with deliverables is investing a lot of money. So those are the two things that I see people who are really like trying to win the game. They come in and they're either extremely self-motivated
Mm-hmm.
or they've invested a significant amount and they're like, I'm not letting myself waste this money.
Yeah.
And so you gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. Someone told me people who pay attention. So
True.
it really reframed what I give away for free.
Yeah.
Because I really like to share. I like to be generous. I like to help. And sometimes I've learned this year a couple times that, I thought about letting someone have something for free or discounting something. And, I just remember people who pay attention, and it actually ended up working out. And the people who I didn't discount things for showed up with a little bit more accountability, to kind of piggyback on what you're saying there. And also the timing of things. I mean, I myself, podcast, we had seasons of this year where we got a lot of podcasts, and then there were seasons of this year where I decided that it wasn't a priority and I needed to focus on other things. So I understand there's seasons of life, and I have patience for that. We've invested in programs in the past, and we were motivated and ambitious to make progress on a particular area of business, and then we invest and we see what it takes to execute. And I needed to make space in my life to show up for that investment. And sometimes that takes a week, sometimes that takes a couple months. So the done for you services are what I get most excited about. The done with you, or the coaching program that Jana referred to, the school group, it was really awesome. And it actually turned into a lot of people signing up for that and then saying, hey, actually, how can I just hire you to do this for me? It was great to learn about it. I'm glad I understand it better as a result of being part of your program. I got some reps doing it myself. So now I can not need to rely on myself to do it, but I can rely on you to do it for me. And then anything that business owner decides to do on their own is more the cherry on top, or maybe they hire someone to kind of help them put out the content that they want.
Yeah, so it wasn't a complete failure, and it's still evolving and shifting. I'm not killing the program yet, but it is moving a little bit. Another thing that I've found is that a lot of people, before they even get to the part where they put themselves on camera, they need a lot of motivation and coaching, which isn't what I put in the deliverable, but it ended up going there, which I'm comfortable with. But I would like to have that be known up front of, okay, this is part of it, and adjust the energy exchange accordingly for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, there's people that, after 30 days of not filming their videos, we find out, why haven't the videos been filmed? Like, I haven't been real comfortable on camera.
yeah.
There's even people who have paid me to run their ads, and then they're not getting their ads to me, even though they've already paid for it. So it's like they invested and now they're not giving me their assets. And it's always interesting to find out why. Sometimes it's someone doesn't like how they're appearing on camera. Sometimes they don't like how they sound. Sometimes life got busy. But having our agency there to pick up the ball, if you are trying to do this on your own, we can see that it gets across the finish line for you. Sometimes that means shifting to a model or an actor or some other member of your team in the video. And
you can hire people to be the face of the ad.
Yeah.
I'm up for hire. With if you're an aligned business, I would be the face of an ad, because I actually really like filming ads. And let's talk about one of our clients who shifted from done with you to done for you, which just had his best month in business last month, I believe. It's a tree care company.
Yeah, I had so we spend a lot of time in Maui, Hawaii, and I got to know a man at the gym. His name's Cliff, and we became homies. And then he inquired about what we do for work and was like, "Oh, I could use some help." So we decided to take a look at his business infrastructure, and it seemed like there was a huge opportunity specifically on the island of Maui for him to grow his business through social media using Instagram videos and Instagram ads. So we did that together. Within a week, he closed 3 jobs. So we kind of hit the ground running straight away. It was more of a done with you than some, because we were with him in Maui. We were able to film his videos for him straight away. So he did have that extra level of accountability where I set a time, a place, and we got the videos done. Within 6 months of that Instagram funnel running, he saw things working well enough that he said, "Hey, this is really working, and I want to hear more about the other things you have that could help me grow my business." And we just launched a website for him. And now we're within a week of the website being up, we got 2 leads, and he closed one of those 2 leads within the first week. So right now, there's a huge opportunity when things are done right and things are launched in the correct way to get results in the beginning. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's, a little bit more trial and error for a particular market, especially some places that's a little bit more competitive or industries that are hard to cut through the noise. It can not always be the first week, but it can take, 2 or 3 different ads that we try. Speaking to that, another business is a meal prep and meal delivery business in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, homemade by Colleen. This is my mom's business, and when she started running her ads, it took about almost 70 days for her to really see results that were a positive ROI. So first month was a little bit of a loss, spending, 20, $30 a day on ads, nothing crazy. And then month 2 was a little bit better than break even. And then month 3, we were off to the races. I mean, people were recognizing her in the bathroom of restaurants like, oh my God, you're homemade by Colleen. And she's constantly saying like, these people are ordering. I have no idea who they are. This is amazing. I used to know where every specific customer came from because they were referrals or someone I met. And now people are telling me they found me on Google. They're telling me they found me on Instagram. They see my videos. And it's always really fun to hear those stories of, mini celebrity status happen for someone locally in their market.
Yeah.
That's the goal of the podcast and the goal of the social media program. We want you to be the best known for your service in your service area.
It's true. And just reflecting on some of those stories, and there's multiple more. I can genuinely say, I was reflecting on it today. I get more of a rush from achieving those results for our clients than I do for even us. Like I don't get me wrong, I'm stoked when we bring in an inbound lead for our agency. It's really exciting because we've had a lot of foundational work put into that.
Mm-hmm.
But when we achieve it for one of our clients, it feels so freaking good.
Yeah.
Like I am just like completely lit up,
Mm-hmm.
stoked on 1,000 because I know what the power of having a successful small business for your family. I mean, the impact that it has on your family is beyond anything else, and on your personality. It's so self-developmental to build a business.
So the impact that it has for other people. Oh, we got an old school landline ringing through right now. Hello? Yeah, I'm here. All right, yeah. I'll tell them about that. Yeah, great idea. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for listening in upstairs and calling down with the insight. I'm gonna let them know. So that was my grandpap, Pappy Bill, absolute legend. He he's a savvy guy. In his 80s, talking to me about AI. He's got his iPad out. He's just what'd you call him, a savant?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he wanted me to tell you all about getting leads using AI. And so my most stoke this year was the first time a client called and told me that the lead came in from ChatGPT. Yeah. So it was Comfort One air conditioning, Comfort One AC out of Phoenix, Arizona. It doesn't get more competitive than HVAC
in Arizona,
in the desert, in Phoenix. So, I remember I was going through the leads and I asked him where a lead came from, or he was telling me about a sale or a job he was doing. And I asked where the lead came from. And he said, oh, they said they found us through ChatGPT. He said, so whatever you're doing there, I know you've been telling me about it. That's working. That's great. So I was stoked, right? Because that was the first lead that came in through, ChatGPT that I got told about, and it was without shadow of a doubt that's where it came from, because he had a long conversation with the homeowner about their shopping experience and why he decided to go with them. So I was more stoked when that happened than when we got our first sale through our first customer through ChatGPT. So
Yep.
I had a appointment on my calendar. I didn't know who the person was, where they're from, if they were referred, if they weren't. And when we hopped on the phone, you know, what it's like to get started work with us. It's usually a 15-minute call to see if it's a fit for us to explore working together. And then we schedule a video call. So we usually hop on the phone and then we do a video call where we can see each other, get to know each other a little more. I can share my screen. But on that first 15-minute call, he said, hey, ChatGPT told me that you would be the best fit for my business to work with you. And, how does it work? So I let him know how it works. And then he said, all right. And it didn't seem like he wanted to schedule another call. It seemed like he wanted to get started. So I said, we can get started tomorrow, schedule your onboarding call. How's 12 o'clock for you? He said, let's do it. So it felt like a lead that was getting referred in by another one of our clients, or maybe one of my family members, where there was already trust and rapport there. And then I realized some people have a relationship with AI now where that's their friend. That's who they trust. They're talking with it. They're interacting with it. Yeah. All he needed to hear was ChatGPT tell him that we were the company that was right for him, and he was ready to sign up. So rather than jump on another call for an hour and walk through the strategy, and he said, hey, ChatGPT said, you're my guy. Let's go. So it's an interesting landscape that we're moving into. I don't like to overhype things. And with all the AI marketing and promotion out there, it works, and the basics and the fundamentals are still necessary. So I don't like to lean into all the AI hype, although we are leveraging AI in our business. I just don't want to come off as another person telling you that if you implement this one AI thing, it's going to solve all your problems and life's going to be easy in your business and all these things just because of this one AI thing.
Well, I think that the having it be relevant to how we serve our contractors, and the moral of the story is this is why SEO, clean code, and video content are all so vitally important for today's landscape with marketing, is because that is how AI is indexing your content. And that's how people get matched up to their providers.
Totally.
You have anything more to add on that?
I was just going to let you go while I brought up this example. But yeah, so I'm going to show you an example. There's a new feature added to search.
And then we have to actually wrap it up after this little bit, because we have dinner with family in like 30 minutes. So.
All right. So I just wrote in here, best plumber near me. All right. So here's what pops up. And you'll notice at the top of the screen, it says AI mode, all, maps, short videos. So 2 of those options at the top were not there a year ago. AI mode and short videos. We kind of saw this coming, and as a result, we started to build all of our websites and our clients' digital assets to be indexed and to have a higher likelihood of being an answer in generative search, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, all these AI platforms people are using. And then the short videos tab at the top. 6 months ago, short videos weren't showing in Google search. Now, Google is indexing all of those short videos people are putting up on their TikTok, their YouTube Shorts, their Instagram, and there's a ton of people who don't want to read anymore. They don't want to go on your website. They just want to watch some videos and hear and see rather than need to read. And, you know, 2 of the first 4 options at the top of the screen on Google now are AI mode and short video.
Yeah.
So it's real, it's very relevant, and ranking in ChatGPT and any other AI platform is very similar to SEO. SEO, search engine optimization, is what that was known as. It used to be what people would think of, how do I show up in Google? How do I rank in Google? Now, in my perspective, SEO is search everywhere optimization. I think that's a lot better way to put it. Instead of making up all these other terms for what it's like to show up in AI, SEO is now search everywhere optimization. SEO rules would change and evolve over the years, and now they're changing and evolving to include how you show up in AI. And I'll leave it at that, pass it off to my queen here to sign us off because we got to go to dinner with the family.
I want to leave you with this. Gary Vee's been saying it for a million years, so it's nothing new. But if you are not creating video content, you are significantly missing out on opportunity. If I had to go back, I've been making videos inconsistently since 2016. And if I could go back in time and get over myself and my like insecurities around putting myself out there, I wish I would have just realized what an opportunity cost it was to not be consistent back then. Because I would say the last year, 2 years, year and a half, I've been more consistent. And the doors that it has opened, not only for us, but for our clients, has been beyond what I could even possibly comprehend. And I know that it takes time to get decent even at doing video content and talking on camera. So the quicker you start, the quicker you rip the Band-Aid off and just, get over yourself. No one's thinking about it later on. If someone's judging you, they're not in the game. Putting out video content is the price of admission to even getting into the game in this day and age. So that's what I'll leave you with. And we're going to go enjoy family dinner.
We're going to go enjoy family dinner. The next episode that we dive into will be about how it's important to outsmart them in addition to outwork them.
Yeah.
It's called the Outworkem Podcast because when I really sat down and thought about it, I feel like it's a no-brainer that you need to outsmart them.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially in today's day and age, there's a little bit of amnesia around the concept of outworking the competition and working hard. And
everyone wants that soft life.
If you would like to be a guest on the Outworkem Podcast, text 833-695-1214. Or if you know someone who you think should be on the Outworkem Podcast, text us their website or name, email, phone number to 833-695-1214. We're really looking to get the word out about people in the community who are showing up with a great service, and we'd love to align ourselves with those individuals, even if it's just to feature them on the podcast and have some content creation together.